Hey everyone, here today at the NEC in Birmingham for Highways UK 2023. So we've got into Highways UK nice and early, so still most of the visitors to come in today so far. It looks like an enormous exhibition this year, so I think it's going to be really interesting. You can see the main speakers getting ready behind me in the big theatre, but there's a whole load of different things going on over the next couple of days, so I'll let you know what's going on.
Remember to hit subscribe for ITS now.
I think this is a really important session because just looking at skills more generally across different sectors, we know that 9 in 10 firms know they have a current skills gap to address. And equally, we know another 9 in 10 workers will need to learn new skills in the next 5 to 6 years. So this is a very pressing issue, and as a sector, if we're going to be able to deliver for the communities that we serve, then actually we're going to have the right skill set and also make sure we have the capacity within the workforce to deliver as well.
Interestingly, I've been involved in these discussions, as you know, in the past, many years ago, where we were talking about skills gap in our sector. Our sector's not the most attractive in the world for people to join, and I think we've been chasing that golden bullet for a number of years. My concern is that as we go forward, new technology coming in, there's a need for us to go forward, to be positive, to meet the needs of the new breed of engineer that's coming forward, that's going to be dealing with new technology, new sources of data. We still need to maintain the base of the other engineers that are there, the planners, the consultants, those that are actually allowing us to have and maintain a network to run that we can input the new infrastructure onto.
Same question, Naomi.
Thank you very much, Sue. As one of the subnational transport bodies, we were asked to get involved in the skills discussion on behalf of our local authorities, and as a result of that have started to do quite a lot of work around the skills gap for local authorities, but in our region, but also from that flows across the sector as a whole. And certainly from our perspective, one of the challenges, or a major challenge, is actually the breadth of the sector and defining what it is that we're trying to capture in the skills of the future. So if you say to someone, well, what would you do in highways? The truth is, so many different things, from the early stage planning, good procurement, working with those that are doing conventional land use planning, sustainability, what we talked about earlier, the strategy work, all the way through to delivery, good fund management, and then asset management. But actually, across those, there is a number of transferable skills that is the opportunity that we should be capturing on. They all have a set number of competencies, some requiring it to further degrees than others, that we should be capturing as a suite of competencies that are part of the contribution to the skills narrative for the highway sector.
Thank you. Yeah, well, that's great answers, guys, actually. I think what I would say, and as we've kind of heard with the opening address and the panel discussion, if we think about what we do today in delivering the basics, or we think about how we stretch the boundaries for the value for the investment we make, whether that's environmental value, societal value, interaction with customer, AI, digital, all that is requiring us to evolve and build skills. It's not recognising that we've got skills today, we have capable people today, but how do we build and expand? And I think that's natural in any kind of infrastructure, any sector where we're trying to evolve and move forward. In terms of some of the challenges, I think we still have a challenge in terms of the talent pool that we access. We still seem to hit quite a narrow slice. So I think in terms of sector attractiveness, in terms of how we market and sell what we do, I heard earlier people talk a lot about infrastructure and concrete. I like conversations around the benefits, the connectivity, the difference that we can make, the civic duty. And I think there's a way we can engage in a different way, some examples later, that will help us probably move along.
Thank you very much. So I think what's coming through from there is, yeah, there's a skills issue, but also we've got a capacity issue. How do we get new talent to come in and address some of these things? So this thing about image of highways is not something that's new, and we do need to really address this. We need to change that image. We need to talk about highways in a completely different way to how we do to ourselves if we're going to actually put it on the map. Because with all of this agenda, we're not only competing internally across transport infrastructure, but we're competing with lots of other sectors as well. So this is quite high stakes. So I wondered if you kind of particularly wanted to think a little bit more about the image issue, how we might resolve that, what we should be doing. Now I just wanted to sort of say the Highway Sector Council, which I'm a member, is going to be doing a lot of work at the back end of this year into next year, really around this whole thing around highways as a career choice, but also thinking about the brand highways. How do we actually start talking about this in a way that connects to people who are not in our sector? It's about how we talk about it, how we make the case for highways in a different way to perhaps we have done in the past. So, Yomi, do you want to go at this?
I mean, I think for me a reflection on the questions you were saying is whether actually highways as a kind of overarching brand is capturing underneath it a lot of different things and interests, and it's about how we get people who are driven by future of innovation, future of kind of how we decarbonise and are driven by the environment or driven by digital, how we get them to actually join the sector so they can see it through their own lens, and that addresses some of those future skills as well. I think I was in a conversation with Nick Harris from the National Highways a couple of months ago about this, and actually he was saying that he's seen quite a lot of people wanting to join National Highways because they are motivated to decarbonise the sector. So actually there are different ways of framing what you can do by joining the sector because of what your values are and how you're driven. And I think that's something that we probably
Highways UK 2023 provided a great showcase for the whole of the highways industry, with a comprehensive representation of the sectors within it. The exhibition was really impressive, taking up the whole of Hall 3 at the National Exhibition Centre. In addition to the exhibition, the conference programme was split across 11 theatres with over 350 speakers, so there really was something for all of the thousands of delegates to go and see. For me, one of the most compelling items was about the skills gap we as an industry are facing over the coming years. With a generally ageing demographic, it has been estimated that highways will need to recruit a couple of thousand people in the next few years alone. However, this is proving difficult due to the perception of the industry revolving around dirty and unsocial work requirements, whereas the huge diversity of roles and professions is little understood by many. For us in the technology space, a major announcement from DFT will be a huge step forward to modernising traffic signals and traffic management systems, with an investment of £70 million for grants to highway authorities in England outside of London. Following on from the success of the 2021 grant fund of £15 million, which managed to deliver 232 schemes, that averaged a 8 to 12% reduction to journey times due to improvements at traffic signals. Darren Capes from DFT provided more details on how the new schemes will work. It will be split into 3 different funds. The first is the Traffic Signals Obsolescence Fund, TSOG for short, which will be used to bring signal installations up to date. This is worth £30 million. The second is the Green Light Fund, GLF, which will be used to optimise existing installations to achieve more efficient operation. This is worth £20 million. And the third fund is the Intelligent Traffic Management Fund, ITMF, again worth £20 million, which will look to make operational improvements at a more strategic level. More details will be made available over the coming weeks from the TTF website, ttf.uk.net, so keep an eye out for announcements. This is without doubt the biggest opportunity for highway authorities will have to modernise their assets for many years. I'll include a link in the description for those who are interested. Right, lastly, could I please ask you to subscribe to our channel? It really does help us to bring you further videos about ITS. Thank you again to everyone who has subscribed. Thanks for watching. See you next time.